Okay, we'll call this hearing to order. I'll begin by reading the notice of public hearing. Notice is hereby given that the following hearing will be held in the Bonneville County Courthouse, 605.
No, we weren't.
We weren't muted? Oh,
We're good.
okay, sorry.
605 North Capitol Avenue, Idaho Falls, Idaho, September 20th, 2023, at 2 p.m. by the Bonneville County Commissioners for the purpose of a public hearing in relation to the application by Idaho Transportation Department for a land use map change from urban residential to commercial. General location is located on the northeast corner of 25th East and Iona Road, on the east side of 25th East, north of Iona Road, and south of Yellowstone Highway in Bonneville County, Idaho. There was a legal description published, and this was published Tuesday, September 5th in the Post Register. Those Commissioner Roger Christensen, Commissioner Brian Reed, and Commissioner John Walker. Also, Michelle Hagan, our planning and zoning administrative assistant.
Assistant supervisor.
Okay,
Just
just
say my name, it's
with
fine.
planning and zoning. And Austin Black, our planning and zoning administrator, and Kayla, who's eagerly taking notes. To begin with, we do have the packet from the planning and zoning hearing along with the transcripts, and without objection, we'll make those part of the record check. So by way of instruction, it doesn't look like we're gonna have a lot of testimony, but generally, if you presented something in here, we'll have that to consider. And so either summarize it and then add anything new that you may have not included last time. That's the opportunity we have. This is a hearing de novo, which means you can add information at the planning level. So to start with, we'll get the staff report from Michelle.
Right, so Michelle Hagan, this is an application to amend the comprehensive plan land use map from urban residential to commercial by the property owned by Idaho Transportation Department and represented by Horrocks Engineering. Property is located on the northeast corner of the intersection of 25th East and Iona Road. The subject property is 1.011 acres. These parcels are the eastern portions that remain after right-of-way acquisition that the ITD has been working on with a road project to improve the traffic flow in this area. There are 3 parcels involved that are currently developed with single-family residential dwellings. The property has an urban residential land use designation. There is existing commercial land use designation on the west side of 25th East and the north side of Shoshone Drive. The property is currently zoned RA-1. The adjacent properties are zoned C2, located to the north and west. RA1 is east and R3 is south across Iona Road. And there's industrial and manufacturing one is to the southwest corner. The comprehensive plan has compatibility decisions that should be considered in all map amendments. These include looking at compatibility to adjacent uses, as well as to determining if the proposed change would create undue concentrations of uses that would destroy the living quality and congest thoroughfares or overload public facilities. The proposal must consider protecting the adjoining uses and lot compatibility qualities. Needs to be determined if this area is more appropriate to be designated as commercial along the 25th East Road frontage instead of the current urban residential designation. There are currently utilities within the county jurisdiction in this area. The Planning and Zoning Commission held a public hearing on August 23rd and recommended approval with a unanimous vote with the following conditions. 1, comply with requirements from Public Works. 2, rezoning will be required. 3, plating will be required. 4, a buffer required where adjacent to the RA1 zoning to the east. Any questions? and there's our map.
Thank you. Okay, now, I'm guessing you're the representative of the owner.
Yeah, that's correct. So,
State your name and address.
my name is Justin Scott. I'm with Forex Engineers, and the address is 2194 Snake River Parkway. So as Michelle had said, these parcels are owned by ITD, and as part of the improvements they're making for Yellowstone Highway and Hit Road, they have done a right-of-way take for these parcels already, and what's highlighted and on the map is the remnant parcels after the right-of-way take. And so there's 3 parcels there that we are asking to change the land use from residential to commercial, which lines up well with the comprehensive plan, especially where these are located on either the principal arterial or minor arterial at the intersection there. And so that's where access will come from. Utilities are there and are available. And I just appreciate Michelle and her efforts and staff report. And this seems fairly straightforward. So I'd be happy to answer any questions that you may have.
I just got one question, if I may. So the property further north, that property on the corner, didn't ITD acquire that as well? In the
I'm sure they've done right-of-way take. I don't know if they have acquired those pieces though.
that corner piece is not.
On talking at the intersection there of Shoshone and
Yeah, they did right away take, I don't believe they acquired that piece like they did these ones, because these were all homes that they had to buy everything out.
Okay. I just
Right.
noticed that the one on the corner is urban residential as well. And so
Really?
if they have that, I don't understand why that, that land use change wouldn't go clear too. And you really don't need to answer it. I mean, it doesn't matter on this. I was just trying to understand why it was isolated just to these 3 lots.
right. And I think it's because the ownership, I believe, is I don't think ITD bought out that commercial, or I don't think it was bought on the north, but I think that was brought up in the last meeting as well, that there's kind of this discrepancy on that north property that's outside of this application where the land use and the zoning don't quite match up. And so,
Still owned by M&K Properties.
Okay.
yeah, I believe it's urban residential, but the zoning is C2. So,
There's a question there. I can't think of it because I think it was pretty well fleshed out in the planning hearing.
right.
So anything else?
No, I have nothing else to add.
Oh, I'm good. Okay, any members of the public wish to testify? Okay, seeing none, we'll close this hearing with public testimony. We'll take the issue under advisement. Generally, about 2 weeks to put some proposed findings together from planning and zoning. So we'll visit individually with the commissioners. We will meet again. We'll put it on the agenda as a public meeting, but it won't be a public hearing to take any more testimony, because we have to make our decision based on what's on the record. So with that, without objection, we stand adjourned.